Welcome! I'm here today to talk about a fabulous little stove. It's called the Heavy Duty Grover Stainless Steel Stove. It only weighs 17 pounds and it's portable. It has a handle on the back. You can take it wherever you want, to your picnics, to your campgrounds, to wherever you want to have a little cookout. It has an aluminum cooktop so that you can put it on top of it, like this, for your cooking surface. But before I talk some more about the utensils that you use with the Grover stainless steel stove, I'd like to thank StockStorage.com because they make these stoves. And I'd also like to thank Jeremy Hopper, who's done an excellent YouTube video on how to start this stove and how to practice safety with this stove. So with that said, it's a wonderful little stove, and it's all stainless steel. It'll never rust. And right here I have a 250-pound magnet. And watch. Won't stick. This little baby is all stainless steel. It will never rust on you. It's something that you're going to use over and over again for your picnics out in your backyard. You can carry it in the back of your pickup truck or your car, pull it out, and have a nice little fire going. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the utensils and some of the tools that you're going to use with this Grover rocket stove. Now the first thing I want to show you is a couple of tools that you would use to get the stove going and to start it. First of all, you're going to use a diamond lighter because it's long. It's got a long sharp point on it so that you're going to get inside the stove to start the stove. This is only about $1 at Walmart, so you're not going to spend a heck of a lot of money. You're also going to need some Lincoln welding gloves that only cost about $10 at Walmart's. And these are handy to have too, because when you cook on top of the Grover stove, the utensils and the pots, the handles can get very, very hot. So you're going to have to practice safety, and you're going to have to use some welding gloves. And these are only $10 at Walmart's. The other thing you might want to invest in is some tongs. Some stainless steel tongs that are pretty long. The reason you want them long is so that you're not going to get near the flame of the fire when you're cooking, and you'll be able to turn over your hot dogs, turn over your steaks, turn over your hamburgers. So this is a handy little tool to have too. The other thing you might want to have is something to chop your wood in. Get some little pieces of kindling. Because this Grover stove takes little tiny pieces of kindling. You're not going to use propane, you're not going to use briquettes, you're not going to use gas. You don't need lighter fluid, you don't need any of those things. You don't need big logs to have a fire. All you're going to use is some little twigs that you have at home, in your yard, at the campground, or wherever you happen to be. But you're going to need to cut those twigs down small so that they fit inside the stove. You can either use, this is from Home Depot, you can just get a regular striking axe, or this is also from Home Depot. This is your Fireside Friend splitting tool, which has a nice edge on it, and it also has a mallet on the other side, so in case you want to hit something or you want to pound some branches and make them smaller. So it's got dual purpose. Also, you might want to have, we put this handle on this little log so that it makes it easier to cut things, and you can just take this with you. It's portable, and this is going to be your splitting table. And that's that. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about cooking on the stove. And before you cook on the stove with any of your pots and your utensils, you need to have some heavy-duty aluminum foil, because the stove cooks very hot and it makes black and soot on the bottom of the pans. And once you finish cooking, you don't want to have all those pans in your camping box, in your back trunk of your car, or in your house when you come home. So this eliminates that problem. So you're going to need some heavy-duty aluminum foil. Now, one of the first pots you might want to purchase is a little cook pot, stainless steel. It's got a lid, you can heat up water, you can cook soup. It's got a cool handle on it, and it's stainless steel. And this is a nice pot to have just for basic food cooking on the stove. One of the other pots you might want to have is a large pan. Now, a large pan needs to be seasoned before you cook in it. You have to put it in the oven, put some grease on it, cook it in the oven at 350 for about 3 hours or so that it gets a nice coating on it. And we did the back and we did the front. They're pretty heavy. So when you're cooking on the stove, you are going to need those welding gloves to handle this once you've cooked your steaks or whatever you're cooking in here. So this is called a Lodge pan. They're pretty famous. They're a little bit expensive, but they're worth it to have. One of the other kitchen utensils that you might like to have is this Cabela's coffee pot. Now it's a little bit expensive, but it's worth it because it's all stainless steel. It makes from 8 to 14 cups of coffee. Makes a really nice campfire coffee. It's got a percolator on the top and it's got a cool handle, but you're still going to need your Lincoln welding gloves again. And this is something nice too, just to make coffee to go with your meal. Now I'd like to talk just a minute about the stove. This is a little cooktop, an aluminum cooktop that comes with the stove. And before you put your utensils on, just so that everything fits neatly, you might want to put this on top. This comes exactly with the stove. You don't have to pay extra for it. So that everything goes on the stove nice and evenly. So the pan goes on nice and evenly. You don't want that tipping over. And your coffee pot goes on nice and evenly. You don't want that tipping over either. Okay. The other thing, once you've finished cooking on your stove, ashes can be easily tipped over like this. It's got a handle on the back, so you just juggle out your ashes and you're ready again for your next cooking event. This is a wonderful, neat little stove to have. You can take it so many places. It doesn't cost a lot of money to keep it up. You don't have to buy the briquettes, you don't have to buy gas, you don't have to buy propane. All you use is the little sticks and twigs that are available wherever you are. It's definitely a neat little stove to have and to own. And I thank you for listening today, and enjoy your rocket stove once you've purchased one.